It's been a hot minute. And by a hot minute, I think, June? Maybe even before June.
Before that. It was trade deadline, wasn't it? Or maybe one show after that?
No, I think we did the Metro for the draft and then never, and the other.
Yeah, yes.
That's the last thing I have. Episode 11. I didn't think we'd make it this far. Gone for 4 months, but we're here.
We're here.
Tyler Dell alongside Andrew Mukaria. We couldn't thank you enough for being here with us on this Sunday afternoon. We also could not be here without help from our friends over at the Primetime Rundown. Summer is in the rearview mirror, and that means the Primetime Rundown is back in its usual slot as Joey Dradzinka, Ian Schreier, and Mike Szabo return to Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time with everything you need to know in the sports world, right here on the Eastern Observer. Join the crew at the Essential Wrestling Podcast as they bring you a full recap of the previous week in wrestling. Our guys Al Carl, John Smith, John DeConnie, and Gary Mahaffey break it all down for you on Tuesday, September 27th, beginning at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the Eastern Observer. This cold weather got me thinking we're already in December. We have one other special sponsor today. We're sponsored by Milk. Very odd sponsor choice here. How do you not laugh at that?
Bro, I'm gonna buy a jersey just out of the irony.
I'm pulling that up again. I hate the Maple Leafs. I think obvious reasons given, as most of the world does, as a matter of fact. But Milk? Like, you're in Canada. You had the man Tim Horton himself that played for your team. You had literally anything else. TSN. And you
did not do one. Just not have a jersey sponsor.
And you went with Milk. I mean, don't get me wrong. If it wasn't Milk, it's a nice looking sponsor.
It's, it blends in pretty well.
But it's Milk.
It's Milk.
While we're here, jersey ads.
No.
Not a fan.
No.
It's disgusting. I hate it. I mean, there's some of them that, I guess look decent. Look, all joking aside, we can make fun of this Milk jersey all we want.
Yeah.
It doesn't look terrible.
The actual look
is the NBA where it's taking up 3/4 of the upper chest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can pull up right now the Capitals jersey with their sponsor being Caesar Sportsbook. It doesn't look terrible.
It could be worse.
It could be much worse. But at the same time, we have this is a whole article. That looks horrible.
That's real bad.
Terrible. Let's see. That's not bad. I can appreciate that. Basic, not trying to do too much.
Yeah, you won't really notice it too much.
But I mean, this is why we have soccer. I'm sure. Oh, maybe not. There's no NBA pictures in here. I get it. But there's got to be we're adding sponsors to the ice. We took logos off helmets, put sponsors there.
Yeah, that's not a fair trade right there.
Is the NHL hurting that much for money? I don't get it.
No, and it's funny how I really cannot believe the Maple Leafs did it. They're not a poor team. They're poor in the brain cell department, but they're not a poor team. I just don't want to end up looking like the Swedish league,
Well, you look at some of these leagues overseas, and you see that there's no ice.
Yeah, it's littered.
Yeah, actually, I just found a picture online. I believe this is 15, 20. This is all 32 teams, and they're projected. I guess not their projected jersey ads, but who they've already got.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Milk.
Vitamin D, baby.
There we go. So the Capitals, so they broke it down by each jersey type, home, away, third.
My two teams are still blank, baby.
Yeah, nothing for the Islanders, nothing for the Rangers. I mean, I'd probably bet you the sun and then some on what our jersey ads are going to be.
Because
I'm going to say, for the sake of color, of course, you get the Blue Chase logo on your white jersey. On your blue jersey, it would be such a dulling thing for me to have him to watch him put an MSG logo on it and just pay himself.
Oh, gee, don't even, dude. The only one I'd be okay with would be a Garden of Dreams logo, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, so he just puts money in his own pocket again.
Yeah, pretty much.
The milk hat trick. milk.
That Canadians one is real bad.
Yeah, that's brutal.
That's real bad. That's an original 6 too.
Yeah, like let's see, the Coyotes. See, I like theirs.
Yeah, it blends in. It's nice.
Like Columbus again. I can't really complain about theirs because it's a basic one color logo.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want with it. Minnesota's is horrid.
Yep. Vegas is fine.
St. Louis is good. I like that. Winnipeg's is
looks like it should be on a box of cereal.
Yeah, you know what it kind of looks like? It looks like it looks like
to me it looks like General Mills Kellogg's.
Yeah, General Mills Kellogg's. The Penguins one is terrible.
Awful.
Yeah, you can't make these things up. We have quite a bit that we've missed. A lot of free agency. Nothing really my way, of course.
0 things your way, actually.
Not entirely true, sir. Got that KHL man the other day. I don't know his
true.
Name. I do know his name. Nikita Shoshnikov.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy from from the Russian league.
Huh.
Johnny Gaudreau going to the Columbus Blue Jackets obviously shook everything up. Well, obviously can't spend a lot of time on it because it's 3-month-old news now. But I hate him.
It doesn't make any sense.
Hate him.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody hates him more than probably Calgary fans.
Yeah, probably accurate.
But they have a new love in Nazem Kadri.
Yeah, sure. We'll see how that goes.
And Jonathan Huberdeau. And Mackenzie Weegar. You know, for a team that I'm pretty sure you and I both said after the season, once Gaudreau and Monahan are all gone, they're toast. They're probably the farthest thing from it now.
Yeah, no, they're not toast. They did a good job.
Aside from a lot of free agency moves over the summer, we had quite a few players come and go. A lot of players. Shane Wright, obviously, with his incredible fall in the draft.
Ridiculous.
We saw a lot of players leave in the retirement, starting with probably one of, if not the most important player of the summer, Zidane Ochara. If I sit here and read all of this, I'm going to kill 2 minutes for nothing. But look, almost a quarter century in the league, second-round draft pick, actually probably a third round in the 90s. 6-time All-Star, 3-time first NHL All-Star team, hardest shot winner 5 times, which doesn't seem like much, but when you have a guy who's regularly flinging 110 miles an hour, that's not something that should be brushed under a rug. 1 Norris, 1 Stanley Cup, Bruins captain for 14 years. All-time NHL games played by a defenseman, 680 career points. Probably an obvious nod. He's going to the Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Probably even going to the rafters in Boston.
100%. I'd be genuinely shocked if they didn't.
You know, I was kind of hoping he would Yager us, stick around for a bit. I mean, we could both probably agree. Last season definitely did not start the way a typical Zidane Ochara season would go. He looked borderline lost with the Islanders.
Yep.
Definitely started to look a little bit more comfortable towards the end of the year. But look, 45 years old and 9.5 feet tall.
It's hard to keep up with these little fast guys.
The fact that he even made it to 45 in the NHL is a tremendous accomplishment in its own.
Yep.
Most recently, not even most recently, the same day, PK Subban announces his retirement. 13 seasons in the league between 3 teams, drafted 43rd in 2007, 834 games played for 467 career points, 849 career slew foots, 3-time All-Star, 1 Norris Trophy, and an Olympic gold medal. Probably will go into the Hall of Very Good.
Yeah, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
I definitely see them I could see Montreal honoring his number, definitely not retiring it.
Yeah, they'll do something.
I'm sure he'll get a little ceremony this year. I mean, look, if Dustin Brown can get a statue, anybody can.
Fair point.
Which we will probably have some fun with later.
A lot of fun.
No, but overall, not a bad career. The guy managed
not at
to
all.
Cash out twice and be average.
Yeah, pretty much.
Along with Zidane Ochara, this seems to be the year of retiring defensemen. Another Stanley Cup champion retiring, and Duncan Keith. Again, probably another no doubt Hall of Fame, probably going into the rafters as well. 17 seasons split between 2 teams. Just over 1,200 games played, 646 career points, 3 cups, Conn Smythe win, 2-time Norris Trophy, 4-time All-Star. Very hard to even try to argue he won't go to the Hall.
He's got to be there.
Yeah, I mean, depending on all of that off the ice stuff, which we're not going to get into, that might be the only thing that would keep him out, and I don't even think that would keep him out.
I don't think it would. Look at how much hardware this guy has.
Yeah, he's got hardware. I'm pretty sure, I didn't even put it down, I'm pretty sure he even has a gold medal or 2 sprinkled in there somewhere.
Oh, you have it there.
I do?
Yeah, you spelled medals wrong, but they're there.
Couldn't even spell it right.
Yeah, 2 gold medals, 3 cups, a Conn Smythe, and 2 Norrises.
Yeah, that's a pretty full cabinet at home.
You could say that.
Last but not least, in the year of the retiring defenseman,
my favorite one,
Keith Handel. 16 years between 4 teams, 1,100 games played, about 620 points, 3 All-Star appearances, and the all-time NHL Iron Man.
And it should have been more.
And it should have been many more, and probably in about 2 months, we'll be talking about Phil Kessel being the Iron Man.
Yeah.
The hot dog man himself. Another career that's probably going to go in the Hall of Very Good.
Yeah.
I could see him being, he'll probably be around for like a Panthers alumni night type of deal. Time was kind of short in Philly, obviously. Not very good time in New York. And Phoenix is Phoenix.
Yeah, he was. You know what though? He was a type of defenseman I liked. Nothing flashy, but he got the job done.
Yeah, he got the job done. It wasn't flashy. He wasn't going to give you points and I guess on a regular basis, you'd say.
Yeah, but you knew if you had the puck in your own zone, like you were kind of relaxed. You were okay.
Yeah, definitely wasn't somebody you had to worry about with a sloppy turnover or just mismanaging a puck. So congratulations on 4 fantastic careers here. Enjoy golf. Enjoy spitting chicklets or whatever it is you guys are going to do.
Yeah.
Speaking of Keith Yandel and spitting chicklets, let's turn to that for a minute. Daryl Sutter had some nice choice words for Matt Tkachuk when asked about Toffoli and his playing time and player roles and comparing between the two. I couldn't find the video, unfortunately. Nothing on YouTube that I could go steal or anything, but pretty much said the guy he's got now has cups and knows what it takes to win. Blatant shot. I loved it.
Of course you did.
But things like that are going to make sure, I shouldn't say make sure, but comments like that aren't going to keep Daryl Sutter in the league much longer.
No, you can't be doing that. I never liked him in the first place.
Right.
So I'm not entirely shocked. But, like, I know, but no, I am shocked because he's been around for so long. You should know how to handle the media. And that's just not how you do it.
Yes, that's kind of like you've been here, you've done that. Yeah, and especially for a guy who came from a team in Los Angeles that had quite a bit of distractions playing musical captain for a while.
Literally.
You'd think he'd have a better idea of how to manage all of this. That's kind of just like, why you got to kick the guy on the way out, you know?
No, yeah, there's no reason for it. He didn't really, like, he didn't do anything to you. He didn't want to play there anymore, so he didn't.
You know, with a guy like Tkachuk, I respect more that he was just like, I'm out, I don't want to be here. Not just, oh, I'm out, I'm going to sit out until you trade me. Because he wanted to trade as early as last year.
At least he said something at all. He could have just waited and then left for nothing.
Well, that's what I mean, is he waited all this time. You know, he could have just walked out of there for nothing. Could have really did the Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
Sat till December or whatever, waited for his deal, and still wanted to trade.
Yep.
But he decided to play and played very well last year.
Yeah.
Circling back to Keith Handel's end of this, not going to plug anybody here, but on a specific podcast with a couple of washed-up NHL vets, he was asked about Huberdeau's comments regarding the trade to Calgary to Barry Zito. And did I say Barry?
Yes.
Yeah, I sure did. Pretty much told him to a word I cannot say, off, when he was traded. And rightfully so from Huberdeau too.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, you're talking about a guy who was actively talking about contract negotiations, not knowing on the other end of the phone they were trying to flip him.
Yeah. That makes no sense to me. That whole thing was just it blows my mind.
It's ridiculous. But again, no, I don't think Huberdeau was wrong for that.
No.
Yeah, he was done dirty, especially. It's not like you're talking about you're not talking about a guy who was just there and he was just a Panther for a long. The guy just had 115 point season.
Yeah, he was having such a ridiculous year that the point production was unmatched.
That's what I mean. You got to show the guy a little bit of respect.
Just a little.
Well, just a smidge. A lot more stuff happened in the last couple of weeks than we thought. I mean, you know, new coach of the Philadelphia Flyers, John Tortorella, killed a man at his first skate. I'm not exactly sure what the repercussions from this are, but knowing Tortorella, he'll probably just go back to ESPN.
Probably.
Montreal has a captain. They named Nick captain later in the later part of last week. And Brad Marchand actually had some things to say about it a couple days later, saying that these 19, 20, and 21-year-old kids should not be named captains that early, and they're being set up for failure. No.
Wrong.
I disagree. I think in some cases that absolutely can happen. But I believe that especially a kid like Nick Suzuki, your Connor McDavids, Sidney Crosby, I'm not going to say Ovechkin because he didn't get to see till a little bit later.
Yeah.
But there are guys like that who are built for the pressure. They can handle it right away.
Yep.
And really, the double-edged sword of it is you don't find out until you give him the pressure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to do it.
Because I think it's very fair to say, should Jonathan Toews part ways with Chicago at the end of the season, based off of how last season went, DeBrincat was your next captain. It wasn't close.
Yeah.
You know, he would have the right media answers, was professional, talking team first, this and that. Like
just doing everything right.
Some of these kids are just built for it.
Yep.
I mean, But that is also a reason why guys like Brad Marchand are not captains.
Yeah, plenty of reasons.
You know, you can't have your captain in the news every day. He's getting suspended 2 and 3 games for licking people.
Not captain material, Brad.
No, so quit being bitter. Quit being salty. You're not the captain. I don't want to hear it.
Go cross-check someone in the back of the head.
Yeah, seriously. Nathan McKinnon gets his contract.
Yeah, he did.
$100.8 million.
Getting that bag.
I believe makes him the second highest paid player in the league now. That kind of went without saying. He was going to break the bank, make things very hard for a lot of people.
Just a bit.
I'm going to pull up their Cap Friendly now, as we love to do. Not sponsored by Cap Friendly. Please sponsor us. So, literally doubled his money.
Yep.
And this contract goes to the end of 2030-31, takes him into his age 35 season. After that, the next closest contract on here doesn't expire till 29-30. He's going to be the longest tenured, obviously, by far. He's I mean, look, you can't really argue with the numbers, you can't argue with the production, but 12-6 is, what does this do for Colorado down the road? As far as
that's going to cause some problems.
That's kind of where my head is. I mean, let's see. Yeah, he's officially making more than Connor McDavid.
Jesus,
that's absurd.
So what are you going to do? I mean, I guess Landeskog is signed for a long time.
So
we got Rotten in a couple of years.
So Landeskog re-signed last summer.
Yeah.
On a 7-year deal, or I actually don't remember if he hit the 8-year threshold or not. He might have. No, it looks like he was at the 7-year. Let me see.
Look at all those UFAs after 23-24 or in 23-24.
Yeah, I mean, Colorado is obviously, they've built for their, like after this year, they are screwed.
Hopper's gone.
These are a lot of those cheaper, I shouldn't say cheaper players, but a lot of the cheaper contracts. Eric Johnson, 34 years old, at $6 million cap hit. You have to think he's either going to call it, or he's going to take a tremendous pay cut to stay.
Yep.
Locking up Georgiev for a good price for a couple of years, obviously.
That was a good move, yeah.
I mean, look, this team is obviously built for the 4 or 5 year window.
Yeah.
Pound out as many cups as they can. And look, similar to Tampa the last couple of years, I would not be surprised if they repeat this year.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Especially being able to lock down Cale Makar fast. And honestly, based off the way the salary cap is going to be when his contract expires, very cheap. I mean, because you talk about 27, 28 when the cap is expected to go up to about almost $85 million. You're talking about a defenseman who could probably command 12, 13 himself on the open market.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's going to be very interesting for Colorado.
Oh, and they got Bowen Byram as an RFA next year.
They got Bowen Byram's going to be an RFA. They got to keep an eye here on Devon Toews.
Yeah. That's going to be fun.
It's going to be very exciting. Moving forward, because I don't want to harp on too many things for too long, the Jacob Chikrin trade saga continues. He still wants out. Now specifying he will not go anywhere except a contender. So I guess we play our world-famous game of who can afford him. And
where is he going?
Where is he going?
It's not the Rangers.
Yeah, it's not you and it's not me.
Yep.
My defensive core is the least of my problems for a change. Devils have Dougie Hamilton. It's like we're knocking out the regional teams and just expanding.
Yes, yeah.
I could see. Again, we're just going to reference a whole bunch of things we used to say. I could see, like, would it surprise you in the slightest if Pittsburgh goes and grabs him?
Of course not.
Exactly. And they'll be willing to give up picks for him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously that's not a trade that we'll realistically probably see until the deadline again, if it even happens. I believe he's still at that 4.1 cap hit, which is incredible. 4.6, which is still incredibly friendly for what you're getting out of him. Especially at age 24, this contract will take him into his age 27 season. That's you gotta, when you go to make that trade, you gotta realize what you're trading into.
Yeah, you know who's gonna make that move? We'll call it right now, September 25th. The Ottawa Senators.
That would actually not surprise me in the slightest, especially if they're legitimately flirting with the playoffs,
which I really think they are.
And taking a look at their roster for next year, I'm going to be pulling up my screen all day now. Lots of blue and red for the 23-24 season.
Yep.
You have roughly $7.5 to $8 million in defensive salary coming off the books next year. Eric Branstrom obviously is not going anywhere.
Nope.
Travis Hamonic is probably done after the year.
Probably.
Nick Holden's probably not coming back. This is a team that can make that trade work, especially sitting right now on just over $5.5 million in cap space.
Yep.
They could realistically make that trade now. If I'm Colorado. If I'm Arizona, I would be asking for first-round pick, the better of the Ottawa and Washington second-round picks, and a fourth-round pick. And you probably have to pay a little bit with a player.
Yeah.
I would probably say. See, this is tough because Ottawa's got a nice little core now.
They do.
I mean, between you and I, Nikita Zaitsev is pretty overvalued.
Yeah, he's not a $5 million player.
So maybe you get them to swap salaries there. That way,
he has no trade clause though.
Does he? Oh, it's a modified. 10
team no trade list. Yeah.
Yeah, and Arizona's on almost all.
Yep. If they're not, then there you go. But
yeah, I mean, you'd really have to go digging into that prospect pool, which we do not do here.
Nope.
Yet, at least. And figure out what you want here. But last time I looked, their prospects are terrible. With that being said, a little bit more contract, dare I say, drama out of St. Louis. Not really so much drama. Ryan O'Reilly obviously is going to be a UFA at the end of the season.
Yep.
Expresses interest in staying in St. Louis, however, does not feel there is a rush to sign the deal. If you're a Blues fan, does that answer make you nervous or not nervous whatsoever?
Personally, it wouldn't make me that nervous. To me, I'm taking that as he wants to play the year and not be distracted by it.
I think that's fair. I mean, you think on one hand, I absolutely totally understand why players and teams immediately jump to panic when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to talk to us. He just wants to get it over with. But at the same time, it's like, it is a distraction. It's when you're getting called into the office 6 out of the 7 days of the week to talk about a contract. You know what I mean? The other problem that definitely should make some Blues fans a little bit nervous is looking at cap friendly.
Their salary cap, because they have another big name who's going to be a UFA, and they're going to want to keep both.
Definitely not coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, look, they've tried to shop him. They've tried to trade him. I don't think there's any way he resigns there unless he takes less than half of what he's making now.
And you really can't. I mean, they're not going to have much coming off the books.
Are you looking at their cap friendly now too?
I am.
Yeah, that nice 6-figure cap space is doing them well. But $625,000 in space available does them absolutely no favors trying to bring him back. Now, looking at next year, you're going to have roughly just about $16 million in cap available. You figure Thomas Greiss definitely doesn't re-sign.
No, definitely not.
Barbashev definitely stays. Nhl Ochara stays.
I was going to say something just broke.
When you try to move out and your stuff is packed up and you're working with a makeshift space, things just tend to break. As I was saying, it's going to depend on really how much O'Reilly wants or how much he's willing to leave on the table.
Yeah.
And if he's asking for anything more than he's making now, between you and I, he's a crazy person.
Oh my God! Yeah, no. I mean, $8 million for him? No way.
Yeah, I would say if they re-upped him at $7 a year, I think that's safe and that's fair. Give him $5.35, whatever that is.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that's a fair number for him, especially, you think the bad taste that comes with losing your captain. I don't think it's necessarily something a lot of teams obviously want to do, but obviously.
But you got a couple of young guys in there that could be there in the future, so it's not like.
That's true, but you also figure a $5 million player, once you give them the captaincy, turns them into a $7 million player.
And you got Kyrou and Robert Thomas are both going to start making $8 million each next year.
I did not even see that.
Yeah, they both got extensions.
That's gross.
It's a lot.
It's gross.
The thing is, they don't have anyone that makes like an exorbitant amount of money, but they have a lot of people that make in that upper middle ground.
Yeah, I mean, they have just enough of those $4 and $5 million deals and $6 million deals to kill them.
The top three defensemen all make $6.5 million.
Yeah,
it's wild to me.
And then somehow, I don't know how Nick Leddy pulled $4 million.
$4 million for Nick Leddy.
I didn't want to give him $6. Speaking of terrible decisions by teams, Winnipeg Jets are going into the season with no captain for a team that's kind of already all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. That just makes everything that much worse.
Yeah, that's an awful move. You don't unless like that individual player is doing something wrong or doing something poorly, which Blake Wheeler was not. You don't strip them of a seat.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I know, obviously, when the Patrick Laine bullying rumors came out, I know that Blake Wheeler was at the center of all of it, giving him a hard time, stuff like that. It could be a behind-the-scenes punishment for all we know.
It could be, yeah.
But it's one of those things where when you make a move like that and you provide no context, heads turn. And when you look at their roster, I mean, the only other person on this team I would even consider giving a captaincy to is Kyle Connor.
Because he's the single most underrated player in the National Hockey League.
He's the single most underrated hockey player in the world.
Yeah.
He's the only player who can quietly have a 40-goal season, and it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, and nobody cares.
I believe last year, correct me if I'm wrong, he finished with 40 goals.
I think he was at least top 10 in goals.
I'm going to pull him up right now. He finished, we were both wrong. Finished with 47.
Yeah, he was nuts.
47 goals, 46 assists for 93 points, -3 rating on Winnipeg. That's not surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, very super duper quiet. But his best season by far. Before this, his best season came in the COVID-shortened 2019-2020 season through 71 games, 38 goals, 35 assists. So you round that up to an 82-game schedule. You're talking about a guy who could have probably hit 45 goals again.
Yeah.
So that's really the only other guy here I would even consider giving the captaincy to.
This team's going to get blown up. It's coming.
Yeah. Mark Scheifele is too much of a, in my opinion, negative media influence.
Yeah.
All the stunts he was pulling in the playoffs with that incredibly dirty hit a couple years back.
Mm-hmm.
That obviously Montreal made him eat what for that hit.
You got to imagine they're going to trade away Pierre-Luc Dubois because he's not going to stay.
There's no way he stays.
No.
Honestly,
I would rather get traded to Arizona than Winnipeg. And I mean that.
I disagree.
Arizona, at some point, could get relocated, and I could be happy. I will never be happy on this team.
Winnipeg can fit more than 9 people in their building.
Okay, you know what? You got me there.
Actually, while we're on that topic, did you happen to see they put the ice down in the Sun Devils arena?
No, I did not.
Oh, they sure did. I'm going to pull it up. It was, you saw all these teams now are starting to put down their ice.
Yep. Just great videos to watch if anyone gets a chance.
Oh, they're beautiful.
All over TikTok. It's beautiful.
I'm going to see if I can find this video. While I'm looking for this video, for someone who is a Rangers and the Stars fan, why don't you break down that Nils Lundqvist trade?
It was a good trade for both sides, but the Rangers won. So the Rangers traded Nils Lundqvist for a conditional first and a conditional fourth. The conditional first is this year, as long as it's not a top 10, which it is not going to be. If somehow the Stars get a top 10 pick, it goes to next year. And then I'm not sure of the conditions for the fourth, but it can turn into a third. It's good. Lundqvist was never going to play. He was never going to get roster time. We're too loaded on the back end with rookies. He's not going to play over Zach Jones. He had an okay time in the NHL. He'll play on Dallas. That's the biggest thing. I think he'll be solid. He'll be a top 4, but the Rangers overall won that trade because they're going to flip that pick at the deadline for Patrick Kane.
So just to refresh the trade details, Dallas Stars receive defenseman Nils Lundqvist from the New York Rangers in exchange for a conditional 2023 first-round pick, 2025 fifth-round pick, which I believe is actually a fourth-round pick. That's my fault. Conditions being, if the first-round pick is a top 10 selection, it will become a 2024 first-round pick. Very smart move by Dallas, especially with this insane draft class coming up.
Yep.
You don't want to, why take that chance?
Yeah, of course.
Look, if you fall into the top 10 in this draft, you might as well, the first 10 picks might as well be the first pick.
Yeah, basically.
The conditional fourth-round pick, if Nils Lundqvist has 55 cumulative points in the 2022 and 2023 and 2023-24 seasons, the pick becomes a 2025 third-round pick. So Dallas absolutely, definitely did a great job.
They were smart about it. Yep.
Protecting themselves. I cannot find this ice video to save my life, and it's really bothering me.
It's hard to say. It's not like I still say the Rangers won that trade, but Dallas did not get fleeced by any means. They did a good job. Especially if you throw him on with Heiskanen. What?
The center ice logo for the Arizona Sun Coyotes has been released.
I'm terrified.
I'm going to be honest with you. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But
Okay.
It's pretty rough. Or I should really say it's the best of both situations.
It better be a coyote on fire. Ew.
It's. Okay.
I mean, like, yeah, but also like, ew.
Yeah, like it's not.
Then again, a college student probably came up with it.
Well, that's the thing. This is one of those third grade design the building contests.
And they're also at ASU, so that college student was also probably drunk.
Yeah, I mean, this is just. I mean, the comments are roasting it. Oh my god, kick them out.
It's not. It's not. It's not.
It could be
a dumpster
significantly
fire.
worse.
Yeah.
Because if everybody remembers, the NCAA was not going to let the Coyotes logo even touch the ice last year. The Coyotes were going to skate on this weird ocean sword thing.
Well,
but,
yeah.
What do they call that thing? A trident?
Yeah, for some reason they have a trident.
Yeah, for a team with the Sun Devils, that is, Sun Devils, fire. That belongs in the ocean. Nothing about Arizona makes sense anyway.
No.
As somebody who may or may not have done ice once or twice in his life,
maybe.
There's nothing even centered about that Coyotes logo.
I was going to say, it's really like far to the bottom.
Yeah, that's rough. Like I said, I don't hate it. I'm actually kind of glad that there was some type of a compromise.
Oh, God, looking at it from straight on, that centering is really going to piss me off.
Oh, is it really that bad? Oh,
my God.
Pre-game
It's lopsided. It's very fitting that they are sponsored by Dos Equis.
Oh, you're bad. Oh, you know what? Hold on. We're going to have some fun with this. Hold on. We like to have fun here.
Yes, we
do. Don't give it to me as one of those stupid web files.
Did they just, take the Coyote and squish him?
I think they did. They gave him the old cartoon drop a cinder block on him.
It's like when you copy and paste something into Word and it's not the right size. And they were just like, we'll run with it.
I was going to download it and make it our background.
Just screenshot it.
You're a smart man. I'm going to take care of that when we're done. You want to talk about not very good centering? Did you happen to see someone else did their ice this week?
No, but it cannot. There's no way it pisses me off more than your scoreboard being on the blue line.
You want to bet?
Oh, no. Did you do this? This is your fault?
I had no part of this one. Let's see if I can find it. I guess credit to all these Twitters I'm just randomly scrolling past. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for being there.
Milk. Oh, they're never going to hear the end of that. Oh, am I in this picture? No, I'm not that good looking.
Did you pose for the picture? Oh.
I'm also another woman.
Okay, yeah, that would do it.
That's for
that was
Women's Day.
Yep.
That's horrifying.
The devil. That's the devil right there.
Depending on who you talk to, in all honesty. I'm going to regret this. You know what? You're not allowed to see it until I get it.
No, boy. Mike, why can't we just have normal center right? Why? No, that cannot be real.
Oh, it's very real.
That's hideous.
And it gets even worse when you look at it this way.
That's really bad. Is the 0 smaller than the 5?
No.
It looks weird. I hate it. I hate it so much.
You know what it is? I noticed it the other night. I think because they put the logo in it, the 0 had to be a true circle and not egg shape.
Yeah. Yes. Oh God. It's also like so imagine you had a rug. And the rug was just a circle, the Islanders logo.
Yeah.
Right? And your dog peed on it. That's what that looks like. Crisp.
I gotta be careful because I don't remember if I told you, but these do air through the building.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
I can say this. It's awful.
We're not gonna talk bad about them anymore.
I can.
I guess this is the point where we're gonna review the Metro a little bit.
I'm excited.
Let's go to
that logo might have just ruined my day.
Let's go to our tier ranking here. I made us a little. Figure we'll do one division a week. Should bring us into the season.
Okay.
let's start with. Let's get this out of the way.
Yes, let's just get that out of the way. Yep.
You know what? Let's do one more. No.
You keep working on it.
All right, we're done.
Perfect. We did it.
That was 2. All right, so starting with the Carolina Hurricanes. Not a particularly bad season last year. Obviously, it was probably actually one of their better seasons in franchise history.
Yeah.
Where do they fare going into the 22-23 season?
I put them as contenders. I think they're a lock for the playoffs. I wouldn't call them my favorite.
Yeah, I would put them as a playoff lock too. I think hopeful is kind of almost saying that they're going to be a wild card team, which we both know is not going to happen.
Yeah, no. I'd be very shocked if they didn't come in like first or second in the Metro.
But it's also it's a very interesting. How did they fare with Niederreiter being gone?
Yeah,
Trocheck being gone.
They're going to take a step back from last year, but they're still a playoff lock.
Yeah, no, they're still a playoff team.
But I don't see them winning the Metro.
Let's see. I'm going to go. Who's next? Let's go to you, and we're going to put you right here with the Flyers.
Really?
No, I'm going to put them as a whole.
Okay, I was surprised. I was like, what? Gotta give them a little credit, even though we love to dump on them. We gotta give them a little credit.
No, yeah. Look, we were saying the other day they had a very, very nice summer. They went out and finally got a goalie who's not going to retire or fall apart before the season starts.
Yep.
Obviously lost out in the Goudreau sweepstakes. Probably doesn't hurt them that much when you have Jack Hughes. Nico Hischier is probably one of the biggest question marks this year because he's definitely underproduced as their captain.
Yeah.
I think playoff hopeful is a good spot.
Yeah, especially if Dougie can stay healthy the whole season.
Yeah.
I still think Sharangovich is nasty. He's one of the most underrated players as well.
Yeah, especially Miles Woods coming back. Obviously, no 35 goal scorer, but definitely a solid second line role player.
Yep, Severson is a solid player.
Losing Pavel Zacha probably will impact his team a little bit. Not terrible. I think playoff hopeful is the right spot for them.
It's a good spot, yeah.
And we move to these guys. Put them right up here.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
That's better.
I mean, look, this is, again, another conversation we had. There's no addition to talk about. There's no subtraction to talk about, figuratively and literally. They did nothing.
They're a very confusing team to talk about because they could very easily be in the bottom of this tier list or towards the top.
Yeah, it's one of those. They traded for Romanov. Was the only move they made. I don't think it makes them that much better defensively, considering, as I probably said to you the night of the draft when my heart was falling off.
Yeah.
Defense was never the issue.
No.
Defense, for the first time in a long time, for the last 4 or 5 years, has been far from the Islander issue.
They are going to struggle to score goals.
And they're you're also talking. You have a team now. This is the roster that went back-to-back conference finals / semifinals.
Yeah.
Can they do it again? They're absolutely capable of it. Will they? They're in the hopefuls for a reason.
They're just they're kind of like what you said to me. If they could win 2-1 every game, they would. But they are gonna struggle.
If you won every hockey game by a goal and you didn't have to score more than 2 or 3 goals, Islanders are 82-0 every year.
Like honestly, if they give up 3 goals in a game, they're screwed. Yeah,
it's over. I think last year they scored more than 5 goals 4 times.
Yeah.
When you have teams like the Rangers, like the Lightning, like Colorado, putting up 6 goals on a nightly basis.
Yeah. So as long as they can keep the puck out of the net, they got a shot.
Yeah.
And they got I mean, you said their defense. They got, in my opinion, the third or fourth best goalie in the league, Sorokin. As long as they can keep it to 2 goals or less, they got a shot.
Yeah, I mean, they have a top 5 goaltender in the league. They have arguably still a top 5 goalie tandem in the league. Honestly, you could probably even go top 3.
Mm-hmm.
Varlamov is, between all 32 teams on here, he's a starter on probably 25 of them.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have a goalie tandem like that, but at the same time, it's also, if you're going to tell me my goalie can't play 60 games a year, I don't want him playing.
Yeah.
Because this back and forth, you here, you there, and then switch, you can't do that in the playoffs.
No, not at all. You got to ride one.
I need, I'd like to see. If Sorokin gave me 50 games this year, I'll take it. I'll take 50.
That's fair.
55. Moving forward, this one hurts.
Yeah, they're going, in my opinion, all the way to the top, buddy.
Yeah, I'm almost tempted to put them in the contender spot, but they had a very, very active summer as well. Obviously, with the addition of Vincent Trocheck. This is a team you probably talk about in the second and third round of the playoffs again.
Yeah. If they fall short of the second round, complete disaster of a season, in my opinion.
I think if they don't get out of the second round, it's bad.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I mean, honestly, in the Eastern Conference, the only team to 2 teams I would say are possibly better than them are Tampa and Florida.
I wouldn't even say Florida.
And Florida's iffy.
Florida's going to be one of those. They're going to be, in my opinion, they're going to be similar to Carolina, where we're going to put them in the contender, but we won't be surprised if they fall. That's where I think they're going to end up landing.
Yeah. It's another. Plus, now they have all those kids have playoff experience. It's another year under their belts. I think this is going to be a huge year for Keandre Miller. If Vitaly Kravtsov does what he can do, being on a line with Panarin, and now having Trocheck on that line, who can win faceoffs and not miss empty nets, a lot of good. And they're going to keep, apparently, as of right now, going to keep that kid line together. It's going to be it should be a very, very, very good year.
I'm looking at you, Ryan Strome.
Yeah.
Let's see. Moving forward now to a team we skipped completely.
Because they're boring.
Yep, and guess where they're going? Right to the offseason.
Yep.
Goudreau, in my opinion, is not enough to help that team. Defensively, they're not very strong. Voracek's older. Line A is legitimately hit or miss at this point. I don't think that a guy like Goudreau is going to come and save. I think the only form of stability that team has is Merzlikins.
Honestly, yeah. There's nothing that they excel at. There's nothing that stands out about them.
Yeah.
Every other team on this list right now has something that stands out. Even the Flyers, it stands out how bad they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Columbus isn't even that bad. Yeah. They're just nothing.
Your standout terrible. You have milk on your jersey.
So they're going to be stuck in that limbo where they're not bad enough to get a really good pick, and they're not good enough to make the playoffs.
Yeah. I think Columbus is going to do Columbus things. They're going to flirt with it to the last 2 weeks of the playoffs and make everybody think they're going to go.
Yep.
And then they're going to lose 6 straight to end the year.
I absolutely can see that.
Pittsburgh.
They're going right next to the Islanders. Yes, sir. I don't put them in contenders. I don't think so.
You don't put them in playoff contenders?
I think they're a playoff hopeful.
You don't think they're going to make it?
I think they might, but I do think I really think the race between them and the Devils might actually be very close.
Right.
So that's why I put them in hopefuls.
Okay.
Because I would not put them in the same tier as the Hurricanes. Because they are not equal to the Hurricanes.
Fine.
I'm a smart guy.
I'll allow it. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We're missing
7.
one.
We got one more.
And I personally put them right next to the Penguins.
I probably
they're in that fine line between contenders and playoffs. I put them over Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I really couldn't agree more. And well, if we hold on a minute, If we're ranking this row now,
yeah, we can do that.
Much better.
I say the Islanders and Capitals are about even, then Pittsburgh and New Jersey.
Yeah, I would agree. And I'm going to be honest with you, the way that this offseason has gone, this first round matchup here would probably not surprise me in the slightest.
No, yeah, absolutely.
And right here,
yep,
this would be hard to watch.
Yeah, that'd be a little weird.
This would be harder to watch. Yeah, I mean, with the Capitals, it's obviously Ovechkin's getting older, but not going anywhere. John Carlson was clearly a one-hit wonder through his Norris season, where he last year, in my opinion, averaged at best.
Yeah,
like he wasn't that great. It'll be interesting.
Who was Washington's goalie?
What's that?
Who was Washington's goalie?
Darcy Kemper.
Darcy Kemper. Okay, yes. Okay.
I'm going to say it's going to be interesting because, on a team like Colorado, Darcy Kemper could get away with letting 2 goals a night slide. He can't do that here.
No.
Because what you could see through the last season or two, Washington's started to regress to the point of they're not even scoring more than 3 or 4 goals a game now.
Yeah, it's a problem. And this is going to be the last year, in my opinion, that Washington has any chance, because I think after this year they have like 5 players on their roster. Everyone else is up for a contract renewal.
Yeah, I think you're right. I got time to kill. You got time to kill. Why don't we bang through the rest of this?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Right, cool. Ducks, terrible.
Yeah. They're not going to make the playoffs.
Well, I don't want to say the Ducks are terrible. They're just
they're not terrible.
Teams. They didn't do enough this summer.
Yeah.
Like Troy Terry's going to be great this year. Zegras is going to be great. Gibson's like all the guys we know that are going to be great. They'll be great.
Yep.
I just don't think they did. Like Ryan Strome is not a difference maker for that team by any stretch.
No, not at all.
Chicago, right to miss the playoffs.
Yep. Not going to be a good year, and Patrick Kane is going bye-bye by March.
Yeah, I see. I don't know. I think Chicago, in my opinion, kind of holds a lot of leverage in that move.
It does.
Well, obviously you want to win as many cups as possible.
Yeah.
But if I'm Chicago, Patrick Kane comes out asking for a trade. It's kind of like, no, you won 3 cups already. You got another month and a half to make us money.
Yeah.
Like I see the double end of it. But based off Chicago going to literal hell and back the last couple of years with all the off-ice allegations, they might not want to upset anybody.
Yeah, that's true.
Just my opinion. Boston will.
I'm stuck in between 2 tiers here.
I know which 2 tiers they are.
Yeah. Yep. They are, they're not. Okay, I'm going to say playoff hopeful because they're not dead in the water. But I don't think they make the playoffs.
So my thing with Boston, right? You have Montreal.
Yep.
They're going to probably miss.
Yeah.
You have Detroit. That's another team we probably have to put in the playoff hopeful this year.
Actually, I just did, looking at this division, I just changed my mind. I think they missed the playoffs completely.
Thank you. I was going to leave it.
I forgot about Detroit. I was thinking about Ottawa. I forgot about Detroit.
Yeah. It's Detroit. Detroit's probably going to be a playoff hopeful this year. I'll even slide them in there now.
Just put them there. Yeah, that's exactly where they're going to go. That division's kind of stacked.
Montreal, we know they're going to miss.
Yeah.
Florida again falls in that Carolina territory where you're going to put them as a contender, but they did a lot more subtraction than addition.
Yeah, again, they're an absolute playoff lock, and they, in my opinion, they get ousted in the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, don't even have to have that discussion.
Yeah, of course. Yep. That's automatic.
Yeah, I mean, like, Ottawa, again, like...
They're hopeful. Yeah, they had the best summer of anybody.
They had far and away the best summer.
Yeah.
Am I missing anybody from this division? Let's
Buffalo.
See. Buffalo.
They're gonna just miss
see that one. I hate to do this because they finished last year so hot that they were.
Yeah, but hey, they're not the Flyers, so it's okay.
Yeah, but if we're going to start ranking this.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, I consider bumping Ottawa over Pittsburgh.
You think so?
Okay, I say wait on that, but maybe by a couple months into the year they will be. So
no, I'll do it anyway because we both hate Pittsburgh.
Fair. And then
there were two divisions.
And then there were two.
And I'm not going in any particular order. I am starting here and finishing here.
Okay.
So terrible.
Yep.
I don't even put the Kings as a hopeful, in all honesty.
Yeah, no, they're hopeful.
They
especially the way
the season last year.
They did. Yeah, they absolutely did. Just go ahead and throw Colorado up there. Just do it.
Yeah, they go straight up.
Just get that out of the way. Yep.
They go straight up.
Yep. I would say the Flames are contenders.
Yeah.
I don't think they miss the playoffs.
They add Kadri, they add Huberdeau, they have to be contenders.
Plus, that division also has a huge drop-off. You have Edmonton, you have LA, you have Calgary.
And then that's it.
And then we'll see about Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas is, again, honestly, I would put Vegas in the hopefuls.
So would I.
And I think that's honestly even being too fair.
Yeah, you just don't know what's going to... There's such an X factor, you don't know.
I put them in the hopefuls only because if Jack Eichel is Jack Eichel again this year and he's making everything click, they'll be...
Yeah.
Let's see. Dallas is a hopeful, no doubt.
They're hopeful, yeah.
Nashville's a hopeful, no doubt.
I even say San Jose is a hopeful.
I
don't think they're going to be that bad.
I think they missed.
Actually, with who's in there, I actually, missed the playoffs.
My only problem with San Jose is that they just they weren't active enough this summer.
Yeah, that's fair. But their jerseys are fresh.
Like, their biggest move this summer was probably the Evander Kane termination.
It was the New Jerseys. That was their biggest move.
Oh, dude, I love those.
Those are so fresh. I want one so bad.
I mean, I think the teal is a little bit nicer than the white. So
do I.
I have a strong disdain for white jerseys.
Fair.
Just because I'm a messy eater.
Yeah.
But, let's see. You go down.
Yeah. Honestly, to be real here, I think you put the Jets in that Flyers category too. I hate them, man.
I disagree because they still have a talented team. They still have Scheifele. They still have Wheeler. They still have Hellebuck. They still have Connor. They still have guys who are going to perform. I think they're going to be an average team, but I think they miss.
They should just be happy that Chicago and Arizona are in that division.
And honestly, these last three right here, these are all playoff hopefuls.
They're all hopefuls, yep.
And if we're going to get serious for a minute,
yeah. I mean, this makes sense to me.
Yeah, I have no problem with the little list we created here.
This makes a whole lot of sense.
Trying to think. Let's see. It's weird. I don't know if it's just because it's how we grew up, or if it's something else. It's just weird not having Pittsburgh as a contender.
It's so nice, isn't it?
It's nice, but it's also like, in my lifetime, I did not think I was going to see Pittsburgh suck again.
Yeah, but you know what? Detroit's on the come up, so one of those two always has to be good.
That's fair. But I mean, we also lived with Detroit being good up until Detroit's only sucked for 4 years.
Yeah, they've had a ridiculous rebuild.
And then with a very fast turnaround. Vancouver didn't have the fastest turnaround, but fast enough.
Yeah.
See, Edmonton makes me nervous this year. I just don't know if Jack Campbell is their end-all, be-all answer.
I don't think he is, but it's an upgrade.
I'm going to make
They
sure
got that. They got that far last year on Mike Smith. So yeah, you title that.
Sure, I save that image.
Attaboy.
Come back to this at the end of the season. So locked in. This is what we got. And honestly, with how all over the place this really is, this might be the only thing we got right.
I think we got the top 8 right.
I think we got this right, and we got this right, and this is going to be absolute wildfire.
Yeah, but I could absolutely see like Detroit moving up to contender 2 months into the season. I'm really afraid of them.
Yeah, but you know how it is. The season's made in October.
Yeah,
so if they have a lightning October, they're going to be fine.
Yeah, of course.
I think, I don't know. It's so tough, especially, we talk about training camp and how it's still, there's so many unanswered.
Yeah.
Speaking of training camp,
it's open.
Obviously, for those who have been with us since the beginning, all 11 episodes, preseason begins today. Saturday.
Yes, it does.
There are 4 games to speak on. A split squad game with Ottawa and Toronto. One that was at 1 o'clock. One tonight again at 7. Boston, Philadelphia will play at 7. St. Louis, Arizona will play at 8. What's very interesting about that St. Louis and Arizona game is it is a Arizona home game.
Oh, yes.
I will certainly be tuning into that.
Is that on ESPN Plus, maybe?
I'm going to find out for both of us right now. It is on...
It probably is, because the NHL still had that deal, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know if that deal carries for the preseason.
No, it's not.
No?
No, Sens Maple Leafs is.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Let's go to... Oh, no, let's go to scores instead. I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. Wow, it's not on TV at all.
Lame. And
by not on TV, I mean I will absolutely find it and send it to you.
Oh, I know exactly where I can find it.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Does it happen to end with a 66?
Yes.
Ottawa, Toronto, their first game. Toronto took a 4-1 preseason victory. They did
Give him the cup.
Milk lap. Ottawa's lone goal coming from Tim Stützle. Alex DeBrincat with the assist. Toronto scores 4 unanswered goals, take the 4-1 lead, and eventually the victory. A goal by Justin Hull, Dennis Mulligan, and 2 goals from Alex Steeves. Both of Alex Steeves' goals assisted by the 3-point man, Mark Giordano.
Oh, wow.
That's something. Cam Talbot, 13 saves on 16 shot attempts, 812 save percentage. You're still bad. Shots on goal for the game, 28 Toronto, 17 Ottawa.
Okay.
So pretty lackluster way to start the preseason.
But hey, hockey was played.
Their pucks were shot and hits were thrown. Milk was drank.
Milk was drank.
Actually, before we wrap up this little shindig here, I think we need to go to Twitter, find some pictures from this game, see the Milk jerseys in action.
Oh,
I have no good photos on. See, this makes no sense. I'm looking at this picture now. On their practice jerseys, They went with Ford. I don't care
That's
about you
the
and your
biggest
appetite.
waste of money ever.
On their practice jerseys, they put Ford. How dumb do you need to be? I mean, I guess when you got that Maple Leaf money, I guess Ottawa's still playing with no jersey ad. We love that.
Boys.
We love that. I'm hoping we keep it the same.
I mean, we're in a big market. There's no reason for a New York team to need a sponsor.
You know they're still going to do it.
Ugh.
Yeah, nothing. No good pictures here of the milk jersey in action. But that's okay because you and I both know very well that we are going to have an absolute field day with that.
Oh, I cannot wait. I already know I'm going to Rangers Maple Leafs. I can't.
So you're going to bring a milk sign, right?
Absolutely.
Milk.
And drink your milk chants will be chanted.
Drink your milk. When is that game? Rangers.
December 18th, I think. It's somewhere between the 13th and the 19th.
Not me looking at how much tickets are so I can be in on this drink your milk chant.
And I'm going with my friend who is a Maple Leafs fan.
I'm surprised he's got friends. Toronto Maple Leafs at New York Rangers. And do you happen to know where you're sitting?
Oh, we didn't actually buy tickets yet.
Oh. Well, it's cheap.
Really?
Well, cheap by the Garden standards.
Yeah, that's what I'm
$100.
assuming. No, that's not bad at all. When I went last year, we paid more.
Well, I'm looking at StubHub also.
Yeah. No, so like plus $30 in fees. Thanks, StubHub.
Yeah. No, we don't charge fees. The first chance they got. Ooh, Islanders Rangers, Thursday, December 22nd. I wonder if I'll be feeling ill that day.
Yeah.
This is actually, again, surprisingly cheap. $100.
That's not bad at all.
And it's great for me because it's where the Islanders shoot twice. Great for me, not so good for you.
Yeah, it's fine. As long as I'm in the building.
That's fair. You got anything?
We covered a whole lot, brother. I don't know.
We covered quite a bit more than I thought we were going to, actually.
Yeah, right? We just come up with it. We're good. We're good at that.
Yeah,
we're good like that.
We killed 3 more weeks worth of content by going through that entire list.
We'll figure something else out.
Well, I lied because not next week, 2 weeks from now, when the preseason is all said and done and the rosters are announced,
yeah,
we're going to have a little mini re-rank or mini, I shouldn't even say a re-rank. I guess now what we should do is take what we got and die with it and see how screwed we might be as far as the new rosters go.
I'm with it.
Look, you know how it goes. Between now and 3 weeks from now, there'll be a big trade. Something will happen.
Oh, yeah.
Someone will get hurt.
Something nuts. Yes, sir.
Coach will get fired. Tortorella.
Looking at you, Tortorella.
Yeah, looking at you.
Then it's all those things are going to happen on the Flyers.
Yeah. It's all going to happen on the Flyers. Someone's going to get traded. Someone's going to get murdered. Someone's going to get hurt.
And then Torts is going to get fired.
Someone's going to choke on milk. I am going to have so much fun with that.
Our hats are off to you, the dairy farmers of Ontario.
Oh, you know what? Before we go, because we're so good at what we do, and by so good, I mean incredibly below average.
Respectably mediocre.
Let's tell everybody what they can expect tonight from the NHL preseason, because it's Sunday after all.
Uh-huh.
We're going to start off 1 o'clock, Columbus Blue Jackets. Goudreau's going to get his first taste of action with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Buffalo Sabres, Washington Capitals at 2. Colorado Avalanche, Minnesota Wild at 4. Ducks Coyotes at 5.
Ooh.
Jets Oilers at 6. Pittsburgh Penguins, Columbus Blue Jackets, second game of their split squad at 7. Flames Canucks. Kings Sharks, both at 7 as well. Canucks Flames, their second leg of their doubleheader split squad game is at 8. And to wrap up tomorrow night, or tonight rather, would be the Golden Knights and the Avalanche. Now, this is a home game for Arizona again. Not on TV.
I'm so upset.
This is nonsense. I am going to their Twitter right now to make a complaint. Actually, you know what I should do? Oh, you know what we didn't think of?
What?
A lot of these teams broadcasting on their own websites in the preseason.
Oh, you're right.
You're right. You know what? Nope. Let's go. This is groundbreaking. And by groundbreaking, I mean teams have been doing this for a decade. Let's see. First thing we do is we go look at their Twitter, right?
Yep.
We look to see the. Let's see. We look to see. They always post the
start time and like TV channel and stuff. Yeah.
The radio, the TV, and it's nowhere on here. Let me see. Let's try.
It's the Coyotes we're talking about.
Yeah, it's true. I guess.
Oh wait, what was that? Nope. It's straight up not on TV.
Hold on a minute. See you tonight, Wichita.
Where are they playing? Wait, did this say Gear River Arena?
Yeah, it sure did. You know, the place that's throwing them out?
Yeah.
Oh, no, Gila River Resorts Casinos.
Oh, okay.
TV none, radio none.
Amazing.
Intrust Bank Arena, Wichita, Kansas. This is not a home game. This is mahogany.
There's no reason for hockey to be played in Kansas.
So now we have that wonderful. Oh. Did you see what I saw?
For a split second?
The Blackhawks are trending. Jeff Carter is trending. Kravtsov, what's happening? Okay, Jeff Carter being evaluated for an upper body injury. I do not care. Kravtsov, this is good for you.
Yay, they like each other.
Oh, maybe they should hug. Blackhawks, why are you trending now? I still don't understand why the Blackhawks got rid of the. They got rid of him because he asked to leave.
Yeah. It's an NHL EA Sports promoter. Oh.
There's something about ice building that's just so beautiful.
It is just amazing.
It's one of the most beautiful things on the planet.
Yeah, between that and tending to the dirt on a baseball field, they're both just gorgeous.
You know, much better than what are they mopping basketball?
Mop the floor, yeah.
You got anything?
No, we're good, brother.
I'm good. You're good.
I'm spent.
Our friends at the Primetime Rundown are good.
They're so good.
Our friends at the Essential Wrestling Podcast, they're pretty good.
They're so good.
It feels good to be doing this again.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is nice. I missed this. I missed you. No, you
I missed you too. Oh.
All right. Well, on that note, I'm Tyler Adele. This is Andrew Mikaria. Couldn't thank you enough for spending your Sunday afternoon with us for episode 11 of the Sunday Sauce. The three keys in hockey before I kick that dog across the house. Take your socks. No knob at the end of your stick. Drink your milk.
It's never going to get old.
Every episode we're ending with drink your milk.
Yes, please.
So, next time I see you, what are you going to do?
drink that.
You gotta drink that milk.
Merch incoming.
Merch
That's
incoming. We can't use the logo though. Can't use the logo.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I just happened to. I'll give you a little sneak.
Oh no.
I might have a cricket machine.
Oh.
Just saying. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for the Sunday Sauce. We will see you next week. Drinking milk.